Hello everyone, it's Leo, and in this video we're checking out an interview with CHIAKI KON, the director of UN Idol Precure. This interview was published on Animedia, an anime magazine, the July 2025 issue. And this interview brings us lots of great information behind the scenes, curiosities, and so much more. So let's start because there's a lot to cover. We start the interview with CHIAKI KON talking about the time when she got the role of the director from UN Idol. And she said that she's been working in Precure before. This is not her first work, but she only worked as storyboarder most of the time. So animation would come to her and say, how about a storyboard for Precure? And if there was time in her schedule, she would do it. She does a lot of direction work. She does a lot of in-betweeners when it comes to animation as well. So if she had time, she would do storyboards for specific episodes of Precure. But then she got very happy if she was able to do like 2-3 episodes per season. But when she was asked to be the director, she was extremely happy. And then she goes on to talk about the concept of idols. In another interview, there was also a discussion about the concept of idols and how they were going to incorporate this in the season. And she said that for her, the concept of idols was something more around like late 90s, early 2000s, like Morning Musume, for example. And then they had together all of the information from more current idols, from other people, from the staff, etc. And in here, she goes more in depth about it. And she says that she met Murase Aki, who is the producer of Precure, and also Takashi Washio, who she calls the Precure grandfather. I love this. Washio has been working with Precure since the start of the franchise. He truly is the god from Precure, the real grandfather of the franchise. And so when they came to her, they asked her, is there anything you want to do? And she casually answered, maybe an idol season? And Murase, she laughed out loud, saying that she was already writing a big proposal for an idol season of Precure. CHIAKI KON said that when she saw the transformation scene from Hirogaru Sky, she thought, oh my god, has the idol thing that I always wanted to do has been done now? But she was very happy it was not the case. And so when they were working with the concept of idols, the direction team has solidified the idea that the Precures were going to be public idols, and they were going to do Precure and idol activities. They would go in parallel with each other. And so we are going to have lots of idol activities inside Precure. But CHIAKI KON says that idol activities are for idols, and she does not want to focus everything on let's work hard as idols in this season. She still wants to show the unique qualities of idol Precure while still keeping in mind what a Precure daily life is like. If the Precures are idols, it would be okay for them to do things like recording and doing handshake events, so their activities as idols would be present in the episodes as we see, but it's not going to be the only focus of the season. They're also going to keep on with their daily lives, just like the other Precures as well. When it comes to character designs, we have some interesting tidbits from CHIAKI KON. CHIAKI KON asked specific things for Miho Sugimoto, who is the character designer, and she asked for Kokoro's twin tails to start growing around her temples. And she also says that Nana's blunt bangs are a charm point for her. And when it comes to the Precure costumes, she said that Murase Aki really wanted a checkered texture. Murase is a very big idol fan, and she says that Murase has a book on idol costumes that go in depth with idol costumes, and they got a lot of inspiration from that specific book that Murase Aki has when it comes to the designs of the Precures from this season. And now when it comes to the characters and their personalities, CHIAKI KON said that she really wanted Cure Idol to be very energetic, cheerful, and a bit of an idiot. She's very glad that Matsuoka Misato is the voice actor for Uta, since Misato is able to play the role of an idiot in a very charming way. When it comes to Cure Wink, or Nana, she said that she aimed to create a very well-behaved honor student. She is supposed to be this classic blue Cure who is pure and intelligent. That's what was said to Takahashi Minami when she got the role of Cure Wink. But then, all fell apart in episode 9, The 7 Wonders of Nana. CHIAKI KON said that she really loves those non-stressful stories and those episodes that are more playful. And this turned out to be a wonderful story for her. And I have to say I agree, because I think episode 9 is one of my favorite episodes from UN Idol so far. I am crazy about this episode, and I feel like it gives us such a big insight on Nana and her character. I really like it. And when it comes to Kokoro is the youngest, and they wanted to deviate from the cheeky junior type of character. She is the character that respects her senpais, and she looks up to them with a lot of honor. In episodes 6 and 7, Kokoro has a lid on her heart. She was never supposed to be... so she has a very strong heart, but she has a lid on it. So... CHIAKI KON kept on calling her a samurai, and she even says it to Kokoro's voice actor, that she has this honor and this pride, and this heart of hers will have to blossom in this episode. And they also said that she was never supposed to be another cute type of character. So she concepted Kokoro as this strong-willed, powerful heart type of girl. I love this. And Kokoro is supposed to be the Tsukomi type of character. This is part of a trope, especially from comedy in Japan, in which we have two types of characters, the Boke and the Tsukomi. You have one person who is supposed to be the one that tells the joke, who is supposed to be the Boke, and then you have a very straight person who is the punchline deliver, who is always that one to bring the joke to reality and is like, you know, to stop the joker from joking too much. That is the Tsukomi type of character, and that is the type of character that Kokoro ended up being in UN Idol. I feel like that is very surprising, because that's not what we were expecting from her at all, and that makes me love her even more. And now for the battles from UN Idol Precure, very interesting. So CHIAKI KON says that the basics here are hand-to-hand combat. But when she was working with Hirogaru Sky, she worked in specific episodes that were the Majesty, Cure Majesty was already in. And she received a specific idea from the team that was working in Hirogaru Sky. They said, Cure Majesty could only kick. That's the line that was delivered to her. And I think that this was part of Hirogaru, not 100%, because we had episodes in which Majesty could punch in more special battles. Remember her battle in episode 30, something that they got the book for the first time. I don't remember which episode that was. She punched a lot in that episode. But in regular battles, she could only kick. And that is something that she had in mind. She started thinking, okay, so each character has a specific role. And she brought it to UN Idol as well. We have our Chun-Li in UN Idol Precure. If you've been paying attention, you know. Cure Wink only kicks. And that is the role that Cure Wink has in battles. She only kicks. And so she really brought this idea that she did not have this idea. That was an instruction that was gave to her in Hirogaru Sky, and she brought this to UN Idol. And she thought, okay, Cure Wink is going to be the kicker. She's going to be the Chun-Li. She doesn't say Chun-Li. I'm the one saying it. She's going to be the kicker in UN Idol. Cure Idol is able to punch and kick. And even though Kure-kun is also able to punch and kick, Kure-kun's role in battle is a little different. Kure-kun is responsible for leading the charge in battle. I feel like the show has made it kind of clear that Kure-kun is the fastest one out of them, so that is her role. Even though she can punch, she can kick, she is the one who will lead them. She will charge in battle first because she is the fastest. Oh my god. She is the fastest. So I really like this. I think that it adds a lot of charm to the battles, and the battles in Idol are being very charming indeed. Now let's talk a little bit about the fairies. Let's start with Purirun. When CHIAKI was creating Purirun, she thought maybe Purirun could actually be a boy, but she's a girl. She didn't intentionally make Purirun androgynous. It was just a result of her sultry side coming out. And when creating the characters, the fairy characters, they wanted to create a stress-free environment and stress-free characters. So Purirun was born. But when they were thinking about Meteron, the creation of Meteron came from the idea that Meteron was supposed to be the opposite of Purirun. Purirun is supposed to be pretty crazy. So in contrast, Meteron has a heavy and emotional personality. I love this. Oh my god. And when Purirun told Meteron, "I'll be your big sister forever," it hit her right in the feels. In episode 1, Purirun was also able to capture Uta's heart. And CHIAKI describes Purirun in the first episode like a chihuahua with big eyes looking at Uta. And so Uta fell for Purirun in the first episode. Purirun is the type of character that can make anyone fall in love with her. People get head over heels in love with Purirun on first meeting already. And Meteron was always supposed to be a mysterious character, but she ended up expressing her feelings through poetry. How that came to be is also very interesting. Meteron appears for the first time in episode 12, and this episode was written by Akiko Inoue. This person is also very important. She is a scriptwriter in certain episodes, but she is mentioned twice in this interview. This is the first time she's mentioned, and then she's going to be mentioned later on. We're going to check that out too. And Akiko Inoue is a very interesting figure here because she was the one who came up with the idea of Meteron showcasing her feelings through poetry. And she brought that into the script of episode 12. And then when the team was reading the first draft of the episode, they were very confused with the poetry and the way she was speaking. But then they thought, okay, this was a very interesting idea. And so Akiko Inoue, who put it there for the first time, ended up creating something that was going to be part of Meteron's character throughout the whole thing. And so they made her become a poem character after the idea from Akiko Inoue. And Meteron loves Purirun and nothing else. She is devoted to Purirun and nothing else. CHIAKI also stresses that they're not actually sisters, and we see that in episode 14 with the story of the tree. And where is it here? So we have the tree in this episode, and the characters are all born from the characters from Kiraki Land are all born from this tree. This idea was also something that CHIAKI has thought of. She says that all characters from Kiraki Land come from this tree, and since they are fantasy creatures, she did not want to make them have relationships like parents, children's, or siblings. So this is something that was already thought and set up. Meteron and Purirun are not actually sisters. This is just a way they call each other. And she also said that she really wanted to create a very strong relationship between the two fairies. When it comes to Zukun Kiss, they are new protectors. The word that is used here in Japanese is senshi. Senshi is a word that can mean protector, it can mean guardian, it can mean warrior. In Sailor Moon, they are called Sailor Senshi in Japanese, and the translation has changed over the years, and nowadays officially they are called Sailor Guardians because that is how Naoko wants them to be perceived. They are guardians, they're not warriors specifically, they're supposed to be protectors, and it seems that this is the direction the Precure is also going for. And we were very surprised when we saw Zukun and Precure Kiss for the first time because they're way older than the others and they look very mature. And this is obviously an intentional idea coming from CHIAKI KON. She says that she wanted them to have an older feel than the other three. So the pair was made to have an older sister feel. Zukun is supposed to be a very straightforward girl, and Kiss is described by CHIAKI KON as a stunningly beautiful character. Oh my god. And she also says that both Zukun and Kiss are characters that take their distance from the idol Precures, and the reason from this will be explained later in the story. I'm very curious already. And then I also want to bring another segment in which KON has shared in the interview that she wanted the Precure activities to happen as idols as well. And when she was answering this, she also said that she was hoping to have a little love story involved in the story of You and Idol Precure. I feel like this falls under the Purirun and Merodon segment perfectly. And now let's talk about Team Chokiri. Team Chokiri is a very interesting case here. So the idea from Team Chokiri came from Kaito Yoichi, who is the series composer. And she said that he was the one who came with the idea. He thought of one character who was supposed to be an older gyaru and also a beautiful anime-like leader, who is clearly Chokirine. And then he also thought of a skinny man and a muscular man. And the idea then, after the three characters were set up, was to make the enemy team look very comical. They also said that they wanted to create Cuddy as a fan of the idol Precure since the first episode. And then she goes on to talk about Katinda, who is the robot that Cuddy turns into in certain fights. She says that Katinda was a special design, and she wanted to create a very different anime compared to past Makuranda and Kureyaminda, so she decided to go for a robot. We have a specific professional working only on monster designs in this season, and he is called Kazunori Haruyama, and he is the one who created the design of Katinda. And CHIAKI KON said that in the past, in other Precure seasons, when we get power-ups for the villains, they are usually like doping-like muscle-boosting designs. So she wanted to go for a change, and so she thought of a robot design. So that's a very nice thing. And when it comes to the performances, she says that when it comes to the battles, there is always going to be a stage. That was decided very early on in production from You and Idol. But then they had to decide how they would deliver a song to purify the monsters. And they were having a hard time coming up with ideas. But then the producer, Tanaka, said, "Why not have them sit down and wave their pen lights?" And with that one sentence, it was decided. And they said that it would be clear at a first glance that they're being purified by listening to an idol song. It's basically purification through song. It's a very nice thing, and it's so funny because like they were having a hard time coming up with an idea, and then with one phrase, it was already resolved. And I love this idea. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. I love this. And then to finish the interview, CHIAKI KON says that the team was trying to create a stress-free work with a very light-hearted season. But then the story ended up being very drama heavy, especially from episode 16 onwards. The setting of the Heart Kirari lock has been tormenting the staff a lot, she says. And even with those tense moments, they are trying to create an environment in which there are some fun and cute stories, like Uta awakening her inner Zukun fan, to keep the pace up and down. So it's not just sadness, it's not just tenseness, there's always those lighthearted moments as well. I mean, we're talking about Precure, right? And then, just to go over something very interesting about Kaito. Kaito was a character that was supposed to be very different from what we have right now. Thankfully, he's just like we have right now. So he was supposed to be an egocentric type of character, and he would call the girls omae. Omae is a kind of disrespectful way of referring to someone, or a way in which you think of yourself as more important than the other person. And this arrogance was only present in a scene from episode 4 in which he lowers his glasses. But this idea in general would not be appropriate at all for the character and for the environment they were trying to create. And so Akiko Inoue, again, she was the script writer for episode 4, which was when Kaito appeared for the first time. So she gathered everyone's ideas and they came up with this kind older brother-like type of character. They're really liking those older brother or sister type of characters in this season. That's very fun. So Akiko Inoue was responsible for writing Kaito in this new way by gathering everyone's ideas. I feel like she's going to end up as someone very important for Miu and Idol Precure, even though she is only working in specific episodes, because the poetry side of Merodon is her idea. The way Kaito is set up is not really her idea, but she was the first one to put it into motion. So it's like something big for sure. And then to finish the interview, we have the future of you and Idol Precure. Ooh, girl. The first thing that CHIAKI says about the future of the season is that the drama surrounding Purirun and Uta will intensify. She says that there will be some episodes between Purirun and Uta that will make us feel a little sad. And I am very curious now because I have felt very sad already with episode 17. But we haven't seen Purirun and Uta getting back together after Purirun lost her memories. I mean, we saw that, but Uta did not know that Zukun is Purirun. So, what is in it for us? Girl, I don't think I'm ready for this. But then she says something that made me very excited for the future as well. And she says that both Nana and Kokoro, who are friends from Uta, they're also very good friends between each other. Nana and Kokoro are also very good friends. And she says that they will have a wonderful relationship as characters and as friends. So I am very, very excited to see both of them getting a stronger bond, getting a more powerful bond. And this is making me hyped for the future of you and Idol Precure. Anyways, babies, this is the interview. These are the most interesting points that were said in the Animedia interview with CHIAKI, the director from you and Idol Precure. I love CHIAKI works. I think she is an incredible director. I'm a very big fan of her. And I'm very happy that she is the one directing you and Idol Precure. And I'm also very happy to be able to bring a little bit of this interview here in Magical Cinnamon. I have been head over heels for not only Purirun, as she says, everyone falls head over heels for Purirun, but I'm being head over heels for this season, which is being really, really incredible. And I love knowing those background stories on how things came to be, where the ideas come from. I love those type of things, and I feel like it makes the experience even better. So I know this video is a little bit long, but I really feel like this is something worth talking about. Anyways, this is it. Just want to take this little time to thank the Magical Cinema production team for this content. Thank you very, very much. This is truly, truly amazing. It's gorgeous to get to know more about a season, especially for us who are not able to understand, to read, and to comprehend the Japanese language. Thank you very much. And now it is time to say a big thank you to the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very much for your support here on YouTube, on Patreon, and on Throne as well. I am very, very thankful to all of the help, to all of the support. You really keep me going. Thank you very, very much. And if you've watched up to now, you're also a huge, huge help. You're a huge help to the Magical Cinnamon channel. Thank you very, very much. And until next time, bye-bye.